Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining with me today for this session on developer experience. In this session, I'm going to talk about five techniques which has helped scale the developer experience in large organizations. Let me first start with my introduction. I am Sunit. I'm based out of ThoughtWorks, India. I work out of the Pune office and I head the digital platform practice for ThoughtWorks India. So, what we are going to talk about today is first start with what is developer experience. Let's understand that the challenges faced by the developers, five techniques that has helped me to solve developer experience in large organizations, and some of the project impact stories with you. First, what drains the most productivity of developers in your organization, that we need to understand. And there was a survey done by Git. People are waiting for other people to do stuff is one of the highest that drains the most of the energy of the development team. People spending time in meetings, struggling with bad tools, not having right development tools. One of the another reasons is managing tickets status, following up with what is the status of the ticket is another major task that the developer has to go through. Let me explain all of this with taking one scenario so that you can relate with this very well. Let's understand this with the one use case. In today's world, none of the application within the organization can exist without integrating with the other applications within the organization. And in order to integrate, developer needs to go through many frictions, many challenges, pain points, blockers that they have to solve. Let me start with first step, which is if I need to integrate, I need the latest documentation for the internal API. To get the API, I need to run pillar to post. Once I got the documentation, I understood it, how to integrate and all of it, need to check the feasibility of it, whether it solves the use case of what we are trying to solve and integrate for. Getting access is another pain area. The team who is going to give access to lower environment, higher environment is going to be huge ticket based system. Then I need to do the actual development work, which is the step number 4, where I consume the API. And once I'm done with the development, I need the testing environment, test data for making sure my API's integration is working fine. So you imagine that how difficult it is when you have to integrate with the other system within the organization. So overall developer experience, if I divide into four category, the first part is the delivery infrastructure experience, where if you need to get some environment, some provisioning needs to be done, all of that, CI/CD, all that part. The second part is the documentation experience. When I'm getting onboarded on the application, I need to understand if I'm integrating with the other application, I need to understand the other application's API and everything. Third part is the content experience, which is more around when I'm getting onboarded into organization, what kind of tech stack is used in the organization, what are the architecture principles that are followed within the organization. All of that is key. And the last one is the community experience. Within the organization, we have many other teams who have solved this problem for us. How we can bring this learning, sharing across the board is the key here. So, all of this encompasses overall developer experience within the organization. And when we look at developer experience, we need to look at solving all of these four dimensions. When people try to solve this developer experience within the large organization, they fail. And they fail because of many reasons. The first reason is the big bang platform approach. They buy product. They think that this is going to solve the problem. They ask everyone to go and start using the platform. Also, sometimes solving the problem which are not the pain area of the developer. Developers are having a lot of challenges understanding their pain area and then solving for it is the key for actual developer experience improvement. Scaling practices across organization without any tech strategy or governance is another challenge. Every team, every business unit is running in their own direction. They are having on their own governance, and that creates a chaos within the tech stack proliferation and large number of tools within the organizations. And on top of that, not having a clear measure of success defined for what it means for improvement in the developer experience. We'll talk about that also at the end. Because of all of this, there is a lack of platform adoption. Developers are not looking forward to adopt new platform that is given to them. So let's look at the five key techniques or strategies that has helped me in scaling developer experience across the organization. We need to also bring the product mindset to building developer platforms. So, for the developer platform or engineering platform, we need to understand who is our consumer or customer, and we need to treat them as a first class citizen of the application that we are building. Solve problem for the developer, not for showcasing to management or stakeholders. The example that I was giving related to the API integration, if I want my application to talk to another application within the ecosystem, what all I need? I need to have that available on the fingertip so that I can go and integrate very easily. We need to have the onboarding, offboarding guides for the team member who are getting onto the project, and invest in the tool which helps developer to solve their problem. So bring the product mindset while building the internal developer platform, and that is going to help improve the developer experience. So the first point is product mindset. While solving the problem, bring product mindset that you have all been applying for actual client applications that you are building. Second, when you build internal developer platform, bring in the evolutionary approach. Don't try to do the big bang approach where you are going to bring a new platform and it's going to solve all the problems for everyone. Take it step by step, take the feedback incrementally, and keep improving that. The architecture of the developer platform should be loosely coupled, which will enable to add, remove new integrations, applications within the internal developer platform. Think it like a MVP. So again, if I go back to my API problem statement that I have been talking about, for the API platform, there are two main parties. One is consumer and one is producer. So consumer workflow related automation and all of that is very important. So build that first, roll it out. The producer type of workflow where I can publish my new API easily in a self-service manner is a second step towards it. Think like that in a step-by-step approach and try to solve the problem of overall developer easiness. So that's my second technique. The third one, while building this, make it self-service. So developer wants to access environment, services or tools. They should be available without any hindrance. It should be a self-service. So for example, in my organization, if I need a license of for IDE, let's say IntelliJ Ultimate, I just have to go to a portal, raise a request, licenses are available to me in my mailbox. Like that, we have to create the self-service capabilities for developer to get their job done. Again, going back to my API integration example, I would say that we need to have a self-service capability for generating or getting access to the API request. So if I want to integrate with the another application, I can request for it. Somebody can just on a click of a button approves it that yes, this is the legitimate request, And then further all the steps of generating tokens to integrate, get the access, all of that can be done directly on the platform itself, which makes it very easy. Another one, if I want to start a new microservice, I should have a template available which can help me to get all the standard practices baked into it. Fourth one is single pane of glass. The developer ecosystem is all fragmented. Taking the same example of API, if I need to get access to the documentation, I might have to go to place one. Once I understood the application, if I need access, I need to go to place two. Once I request the access, I need to raise a ticket and follow up through email. Once I get the access, I need to send email to someone to get the API token generated for me. That's how all these steps that I need to do is fragmented. Can we bring them under one single pane of glass? One classic example of this is Backstage as a developer portal, which is nothing but a place where you can bring in all the tools which are very commonly used, functionalities that are very commonly used by the developer under the one umbrella. So using the Swagger API, I can write the documentation, but the actual documentation is visible on the Backstage portal. Like that, you can implement most of the functionality. The last one is the key. Are we measuring what truly matters to developer experience? And that's what is the key measure of success for developer experience, right? Define clear matrices that are really going to improve the developer experience. Sometimes we make a very big mistake of understanding developer productivity as developer experience. I'm sharing with you a few measure of success that has helped me. The first one is the onboarding time, which is like time a developer joined a team and time it takes for its first commit. Code review cycle time, commit to deploy time, API integration cycle time, ticket resolution time, and the last one, which is kind of a survey, which is developer happiness index. Similar to we do customer happiness index and we measure NPS score, we should start thinking about taking a survey and measuring developer happiness index as well. Let me share with you few impact stories. In one of the project, we minimize the developer onboarding cycle time to 15 minutes from weeks. When I say 15 minutes, which means that getting all the required software set up on the laptop through automated way and getting all the access required for the developer to get the first commit done. So learning curve is separate. This is more about access tools required for the developer to start on the project. Second one is overall cycle time of the part to production was reduced from days to minutes. And this has brought down the overall deployment cycle from weeks to multiple times in a day. The third one is the API consumer workflow as a self-service capability, which reduce the cycle time of the integration. And we have made sure that 70% of the overall applications are publishing their API documentation on the Backstage portal. So this is about more about the consumer workflow of the API example that I was talking about. In a nutshell, every developer needs a seamless user experience, and with the better experience, it's going to accelerate the outcomes and drive greater business impacts. So at the end, improvement in the developer experience is going to get better business results. So for this, I share 5 techniques with you. The first one is the product mindset. The second is build for self-service. Third one is have a clear measure of success defined. The fourth one is you need to have your internal developer platform built in an evolutionary way and bring all of this under one single pane of glass and use tools like Backstage. Thank you very much, and I hope this was helpful for everyone.